If you don't know, this is called back buttering. If you don't back butter, well, good morning, guys. How's everybody doing this morning? You ever have one of those mornings that something happens and it just kind of not frustrates you, but flusters you? Like, I could have swore it was right there. You know, one of those type of deals. I went to the home supply store this morning to get some materials for the project and went to go pay for it, and my license isn't in my wallet. And I have no idea. So, we're going to figure this one out, just like we do everything else. But with that, let's get on with our day. It is another overcast day. Last I looked, it was mid-30s, and it looks like it's starting to rain, snow, kind of in the middle. And we are going to go see how much tile we can get installed and try to get this job wrapped up. But I hope all you guys are doing great. We have this one, and then I gotta get some information together so I can get it over to another customer and see if I can get their contract signed. And we are oh yeah, I guess I should go there too. Sorry for my rambling, but we are also exploring other options as far as work in the Kalispell Flathead area, whether it be some work under our company or going to work for somebody else. We are just trying to put some feelers out, see what's out there, see what the opportunities are, and make the best decision possible. We really like North Idaho, but the Kalispell was our home, and I think part of it is we didn't. We left because we had to. We couldn't find a place there, so I think if we had decided to move under different circumstances, it would have been different. But we love that area, and we didn't want to leave. And so the fact that we have left just kind of puts a sour taste in your mouth. And we love the people here. We love this area. It's just not home. And so we're trying to figure out how to get home. I think that's the best way to put it. So with that, we will continue on with the day. I'll get as much footage as I can of the project today and take you along. It should be a good one. We did a little bit of modification, and I think I pre-planned enough that this should go okay. Hoping, praying, and we'll check back in with you guys in a little bit.
besides making soup for dinner tonight, I had a huge amount of sourdough discard sitting in the fridge. I took the bowl out this morning and it exploded everywhere, so it's very active still. I chose to try my hand at sourdough bagels. And so they look amazing. I've not tasted them yet, but if that's something that you would like to see either the recipe for or how I did it, let me know down in the comments and I will make a video. It's not very time consuming. Honestly, it was less time than bread. We'll see how they taste. Janelle's probably going to be mad because she wants to eat them. That was the only part she wanted to help with. But she'll just take a piece. So good. Very good. As you can see, the kids came by and I was told 10 out of 10, except next time do butter and brown sugar, not salt. So there's obviously different options. I'm sure you can make savory and sprinkle like rosemary would be really good. But I would say the downside to these is they're not going to last very long. So I need to look and see what the options are for freezing them. I remember as a kid being able to buy, well, I know they still have them, but you could buy a box of soft pretzels, frozen, and then you just bake them. And these are way, way better than I remember those ever being, but those are obviously very convenient. So if I can figure out a way to make like a multiple batch deal and then freeze them, I think that would be really cool. But these are a really great way to use up sourdough discard. You use the cup. So that used a good amount and made 12 pretzels and they're delicious. So like I said, if you want to know more, the recipe or a video of how I do any of this stuff, just let me know. How's the pretzel?
Good.
Like super good, like the place that you get at the mall or the airport? Like that good? Wow. Why, thank you so much.
If you don't know, this is called back buttering. If you don't back butter, there's a very good chance that your tile won't bond correctly. And over time, you'll start to get tiles falling off the wall. So if you ever want to know if it's bonding correctly, if you stick it against the wall and then pull it off, the back of the tile should be covered 80% with thinset. And a lot of times if you don't back butter, it's nowhere even close to that. The other question you guys might have is why this wall is white. And the reason for that is these tiles are actually thicker than these tiles. So in order to get this on a plane that was, on the same plane, I had to float this wall in this section and in this section beforehand to get it so I could have it all the same, just so you guys are aware. When I go back down, let me see what they're...
All right, I am trying to get dinner started. I'm going to make baked potato soup. Yikes. So right here I have 3 celery, 3 or 4 carrots, and I think it called for 6 potatoes, but some of them were a little bit smaller, so I did a couple extra. And then chop up some onion, and then we'll dump it in the pot. Right on medium to medium-high heat, I threw in the carrots, celery, and onions, and I left a good part of the bacon grease in there. Not all of it, but some of it. And I'll let this go for a couple of minutes, and then I'll add the potatoes and seasoning. Let that cook down for about 5 minutes before I put in the broth, and I'm using half chicken broth and half veggie. No, it's not homemade, but it is better than bouillon. So this is kind of like homemade. I mean, it's not out of a box, okay? This is one of Stephanie's favorites. I think Matthew likes it. Not everybody likes it, but you win some, you lose some, right? This is supposed to cook until the onions are softened. I tend to put less onions than a recipe calls for. I also cut them a lot smaller than most people do, basically trying to hide them. We're going to add, this is diced potatoes, salt, pepper, and Cajun seasoning or seasoned salt is what I actually use. Cook this down about 5 minutes, and then I'll add 8 cups of broth. Making a mess. Alright, the potatoes are tender, so I have a slurry of milk and flour that is going to help thicken it up, so I'll drizzle that in and cook this down for a little while. And I do have other options in storage, but because we knew this was a temporary housing situation, I never took them out. So yeah, I guess on my wish list is an immersion blender, because it would make stuff like this a lot easier. The one thing I would say about this soup, it does not freeze well. This makes a good 12 servings, probably 10 or 12. I do not have an immersion blender. If I did, I would definitely suggest using that. But this might help a little bit. Otherwise, we're just gonna have chunky potato soup, and it'll be fine. And it'll still taste great. You can put melted cheese. In the past, I've used Monterey Jack because I think it melts well. But all I have is cheddar, so I'll probably use cheddar. I just let this cook down really until we were ready to eat. When we sat down, we had some additional shredded cheese, the bacon, of course, the most important part, and this would probably be really good with sourdough. It's one of our favorite. I hope you enjoyed watching. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, and we will see you in our next video. Have a good night.